one decade.
Boom.
You didn't know, now you know. You also know that Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears are always bringing it. You know, he's got bars. Don't get him started. Don't get him started.
How do people track stats like that? Like, what
I know,
person
right?
Really
sits down and figures out that?
That they can.
solid.
There's like literally a whole entire research department here. Dan, you work with one
I
every
know
day.
you do to do that
I'm like, it's
stat.
unbelievable. So week 12 in the NFL, and we're closing in on the last month of the regular season. Dan, in your opinion, who could really use what I'll call a feel-good galvanizing win this weekend?
Well, tomorrow night, the Houston Texans, they need to win tomorrow night. I mean, they've already played the Colts, who they play tomorrow night. They lost to them in Indy already this year, so they need to win. Coming off a loss last week where they did not play well, Deshaun Watson didn't play well, and they got dominated in the run game. So a team that is 6-4, they play New England next week after this game. They still have to play the Tennessee Titans twice this year. Neither of those games is going to be a pushover because Tennessee's defense is so good. So I look at the Texans. They need to win tomorrow night.
And on the other side of that, the Colts and the way they run the football, they lost Marlon Mack to a fractured hand. And obviously when a running back goes down, there's a bit of concern when he's your starter. But this offensive line is as good as it gets in the NFL. Jonathan Williams stepping in, had a run of 48 last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars and ended up with 117. But the Colts want to establish their identity up front. They want to be physical. And what did the Texans struggle with against the Baltimore Ravens? The ability to stop the run. So the front seven will be challenged by this offensive line and the Colts run game.
Yeah, and not only, like, are they talented up front, I don't know. They're as good as any team in the NFL right now in scheming their run game. And so they're going to look at the tape. I mean, Frank Reich has done an outstanding job, like, scheming their run game to attack certain defenses. And so they've got to, like, the Colts have a big advantage strictly in their run game, schematically and talent-wise against Houston, because without J.J. Watt, they're struggling to stop the run.
So wait, which team needs a big performance this week?
The Dallas Cowboys. One of them. Stop, L. Stop.
What?
Okay?
Why you got to go
It's
there?
true.
Why do they need to prove what against the Patriots?
Dak Prescott needs to prove that he can throw for 400 like he's done the past 2 weeks.
Against that defense?
Look, the Patriots are going to commit to stopping Ezekiel Elliott. That's what they're going to do. Michael Gallup emerged last week, Amari Cooper obviously, and they're trying to get themselves ready to make this run after starting out as bad as they have. All of the questions have been about the Cowboys and their performances when they lost to the Jets. Can they play against a really good team, and if their best ability is taken away, can Dak Prescott do it? And if he can, then the Cowboys are a different team. Watch how we talk about them differently if they take Zeke away and he's able to go downfield on the New England Patriots.
This man's right. In the game, though, like, I want to see which struggling unit kind of turns the tide. If you look at the Cowboys, their defense is struggling. They've been carried by their offense.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the Patriots, their offense is struggling. So which unit is going to take advantage of the other and kind of springboard their season a little bit? You know, if you look at the Cowboys, or if you look at the Patriots, just struggling in the pass game, struggling to get guys open. Their run game is not nearly as effective as it was last year. And those receivers aren't getting open for Tom Brady. But if you watch the Cowboys defensively, there's guys running open in the secondary all day long. And the weakness of the Cowboys defense is the linebackers in the pass game against running backs. Everybody in the history of the world knows New England is going to throw the ball to the running back.
And listen, you're not going to begrudge a Cowboys team that doesn't go into Foxborough and win, right? And beat a 9-1 team. But here's my question for you then. What do you want to see then? Like, tell me what would be a great feel-good moment for Dak should they still lose this game. You want to see what?
I want to see them consistently have an offense without Zeke Elliott.
Okay.
Because defenses have made it a point. It started with Mike Zimmer in Minnesota. They made it a point to say, this guy is not beating us. So, Dak, what can you do? And Dak has responded the past 2 weeks. And obviously, if you respond against this defense, you put the rest of the league on notice.
You do.
Not only the rest of the league, but the guys in your locker room as well. We can do this against anybody. I think the Dallas need that mentally if they're going to push forward and talk about a playoff bid.
Be honest about both teams. A lot of people say New England still hasn't beaten anybody really good this year, and Cowboys don't have a win against a team with a winning record.
Yeah.
So we will know a lot about both of these teams at the end of Sunday afternoon. Like, who is actually legit when we're talking playoffs in comparison to both?
Because we've caged almost everything the Cowboys have done with but. So you're right. This could go a long way and finally feeling like they're catching